In this video tutorial, we are going to learn how to use GHC in order to create a timetable for music schools and other educational institutions in general when individualized timetables are needed. In music schools, both collective and individual subjects are taught, with the peculiarity that good timetables are needed for each one of the students. Other user profiles in GHC only handle groups and subgroups of students. However, this profile is designed to create and optimize the timetable of individual students. In this way, the aim is to adapt and compact each individual timetable within a time frame that will normally be very wide. First of all, it is necessary to select the profile Schools of Music at the top of the planner. If you do not select this profile, you will not be able to use this functionality. Once selected, we will see the individual students icon just below the groups icon. The appearance of this tab is identical to the rest of the GHC windows, so we will be able to add new individual students, order them, configure their preferences template, or delete them. Now, we are going to learn how to relate the students with the groups they belong to. By right-clicking on the students on its properties, we will be able to indicate the groups of each student. The relationship between groups and their students is bidirectional, so it can also be configured from the group window. Thus, from the group itself, with the right button and the option Add Students to the group, we will be able to see and add the students that compose it. This is also possible with the button that is enabled for it in the upper bar. At the bottom of the list of groups, the students who are part of the group selected in the upper list appear in another list. The lower list can be shown or hidden as desired by clicking on this button. It's also possible to transform a group into a student and vice versa. Just right-click and select the option Convert this group into a student. The group will then be transformed into a student and can be found in the list of students. For this example, in the list of groups, we are going to create a new group called Choir. So this group, by using the button Add Students to the group, we will associate several students who are the ones who compose it. Now it's time to create the class units. First, we are going to create a group lesson. We associate the subject choir, second grade, that we want for the group of students choir, with a teacher, a number of lessons per week, and in a specific classroom. Next, we are going to create an individual lesson. We select the subject Music Theory for the student Mary Smith, and we choose a teacher, a number of weekly lessons, and in a specific classroom. In the list of students, we will distinguish the number of class units assigned to each student in two parts, those studied by the student individually and those studied collectively. The total number of class units of the students will be the sum of these two numbers. In the Student Properties window, we can specify whether we want to avoid or forbid free periods that cause gaps in their timetable. If we indicate that gaps must be avoided, the optimization process, using the weighting we have applied to the corresponding criterion, avoidance of gaps in the student's timetable, will seek the best possible result by deleting the gaps for all students. If the gaps are forbidden to any student, the engine will not be able to offer a result that breaches it, so this option will normally not be offered as it will make the results impossible. Another strict condition, which in this case can be extended to all students, is the possibility of establishing the minimum number of free afternoons. Naturally, you can also preset specific free afternoons in each individual template, banning the corresponding positions on those afternoons of the week when the student cannot have lessons. The particular templates also allow to express the position in which the pupil would prefer not to have class, which the optimizer will observe with the weight of the corresponding general criterion. The engine will take into account the relationships between groups and students to place all individual and group class units in such a way that the results are complete and optimal. In the editor, we will be able to display the students' timetables composed of their group and individual class units. The timetables will have been optimized to obtain the best possible overall solution, the most compact and balanced, taking into account the preferences of all the students. Thank you for your attention.